Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Bright Founders Talk at Temi. Temi is an international software development company that designs, builds, and delivers software for sustainable businesses and promising startups. My name's Matthew, and I'm joined today by Mr. Yoad Fekete, who is the co-founder and CEO of a company called Myrror Security. How are you doing today, Yoad?
Good. How are you?
Very good. Thank you. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for taking some time out of your schedule to be here today. If we can start off, if you wouldn't mind, you can tell our viewers and our listeners a little bit about who you are and what it is that you do.
I'm an animal lover and musician in my past, but that era is over now with the startup. But today I'm the CEO and co-founder of Myrror Security. We are a software development security company, and my background is technical. I've been in the industry for about 12 years or so, mostly in IT security, DevOps, corporate, startups, government. That's in short.
That's pretty cool. So we've got a couple of things to unpack there, and you and I had a little chat before this started. And you mentioned, I mentioned to you about animals. Tell us a little bit about that. Animals and music, and it seems like a totally different industry. What happened there?
Good question. So when I was young, in high school, I wanted to go and study music. I was like a big metalhead. And then my parents insisted, luckily, that I will go and, study computers. And then after that, in the army, they told me go to a technology unit, but I wanted to be a combat warrior. So this is where I took, my slight edge, and I told them, listen, I'm going to go to be in a combat battalion, and I joined the artillery forces. And animals have been always like, I grew up with animals. I'm very passionate. I'm like a crazy cat lady. I'm feeding like cats, and all the neighbors hate me for that. That's a fact. And after the army, I actually moved to LA with my band. While working, I relocated from my job back then, and my boss was amazing. I told him that I want to move to LA with my rock band and make music, and he said, yeah, go for it. Makes sense.
Wow.
And I did that, and I then understood, it takes more than a year to be a star in the States. And then I came back, and I was always thinking about, learning like to be a veterinarian, and technical life took over. So I joined the iTech. I've been there since 12 years ago or so, and I'm enjoying every moment of it. And I'm still volunteering in animal shelters and still doing music, but that's like a side note.
Yeah. So one last important question about the music. What instrument or instruments did you play?
Drums.
Okay, you were a drummer. All right.
Yeah.
No, that's
started from classical piano, but then, you need somewhere to release anger, right? So that...
So you're banging on the drums. So that's quite an interesting start to this. And you say 12 years ago, there was a little paradigm shift or a shift, if you will. Tell us about what that was like for you now, moving away from the animals, the music, and then getting involved full-time in technology.
So, as an employee, I was always very dedicated. So I've been working for 14 hours a day since I started working, whether it's a corporate, a startup, never mind. I'm really dedicated, and because I really love what I'm doing. But I think the biggest transition is transitioning from being just an employee, even a team leader or a manager, to actually starting a startup and being responsible for a full company and the actual, well-being and the life and careers of many people. And that's full time. I no longer have, I have 1 hour a week for music now. And unfortunately, I don't volunteer anymore. It's 150% job at least.
Tell us a little bit about that, if you don't mind. You mentioned a few interesting things there. Taking responsibility for other people, growing a company, investing so much time and energy into it. What was that process like for you, learning about these things? I am assuming that beforehand you didn't have the same experience in it. You must have learned a lot of valuable lessons along the way.
Oh, that definitely. First of all, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but it's a shit show, especially for a first time founder. It's crazy. So you understand that you have to invest a lot in the people, not only in the you. It's correct. You build in a product, you have to sell it because you need to get to the next round. You need to do it quickly. Along the way, you have to learn tons of stuff that you didn't knew before, like product marketing. You need to hire the right people. You need to delegate. If you're not delegating, you're doing it wrong. That's the role of the CEO. So for that, you need the right people in the right places. Along that way, you always have to make sure that people, your employees, are enjoying what they do, that they learn each and every day. They get along with each other well. The atmosphere is good. So many conditions. It's a state machine it's very unpredictable, and you need to be on top of that every day. And I think that's the biggest thing I learned. Since starting the company, you can't neglect that. You can't, even if you have a week when everything is working and you're like, wow, this is like optimal. Still, make sure you do one-on-ones with each and every person in the team. Make sure you're on top of tasks. Never, think that you can, even if you're delegated, make sure it's happening. So I think those are like the 2 or 3 things that are top mind. People is everything. That's what I'm saying.
If you don't mind, can you tell us a little bit about the birth of Myrror? How did that come about? How did you meet the people? What was the story behind that?
Yeah, good question. So the reason for starting the company is that before starting the company, I worked at Microsoft. I led a group of DevOps engineers, and we were one of the companies that been hit by the SolarWinds attack. My team was part of the incident response team for this attack. And post that, we were looking for a solution that can detect those kinds of attacks. And the second part is that we spent a lot of our time remediating known vulnerabilities as well without any context. So those were the main pillars that got me to start Myrror today. And I've been joined by Roman, which is my co-founder. We've been working together for the past 10 years in a startup and in a government institution. And he's the cyber dude. He's like an expert in defensive cyber and R&D. So it kind of was the perfect combination. We took that idea to people, like to security professionals, and we asked them, listen, is that something that you're experiencing today? And they were like, this is like a big factor that we're spending, much of our time today, and it's a big concern. And, that's what made us actually go ahead and quit, the comfortable life and go and hustle.
That's pretty cool. So you say quit the comfortable life, quite a big risk. How did it feel taking the leap?
I don't know if there's a word to describe it. It's fear, hesitation, but once you kind of decide that, you're all in. And it's not only you have family, right? So you need to have, my wife was amazing. Fortunately, we don't have kids yet. So it was a rather easy decision to make, even though, you left a comfortable life. And then Roman, my co-founder, he has 3 kids. So I asked him, what made you do this jump? And he told me, listen, you have your whole life to be, to work for somebody else and do something that you might believe in, but it's not yours. But you have probably only 1 or 2 opportunities to do what you actually believe in, which is yours, and have your own company. So that was like the big incentive to go ahead and do that.
I've heard a little bit about the birth. We've heard a bit about yourself, your lessons, and taking the risk. And what about the future? What have you got your sights set on for the future? Without giving away too many secrets, what are you looking at?
It's a good question. It's what's nice and not nice about startup. It's an unknown. So it's one thing that on my end that what I had in mind, and eventually it changes every day. So for us, the intention is to kind of be the company that, if I go ahead to a security professional, like a practitioner or a manager, and he hears the name or she hears the name, and they will tell, listen, Myrror saved me 50%, at least 50% of the time, because the process and the detection are so good, and the remediation that they have in place makes me a possibility to free my application security team, and they can go ahead and do things they actually want to do, instead of triaging vulnerabilities and spending time of just, looking for hints. So I want to be known for that company. So that like products I've been using, and I was, kind of always going to my colleagues and, putting like kind of making them famous. So do the same thing. I want to make clear that Myrror is the kind of tool that will help you get a grip on your software development lifecycle security.
That's pretty interesting. And are you on track? Do you feel like this is where you are heading? Has there been a nice uptake in the community? Are people responding positively to what you guys are doing?
Yeah, good question. So we actually just started going out. We went out of stealth really recently, but the current customers we're working with and the prospects that just onboarded, we're getting very good feedback. There's always improvements, right? And we're happy. That's why you want more and more customers to join. But we're hearing that we're able to save 30 hours a week for an application security practitioner, that was the goal. So that's an amazing feeling. That's what we came to do. And also, it kind of, they tell us we feel safe because we tested your solution. We've kind of challenged that. You made yourself kind of hold that challenge, which makes us very, very proud.
Tell me something, if you don't mind. I want to just step back a little bit, and I want to speak to you about yourself and your time. Now, you mentioned obviously some hobbies and some things that you've had to sacrifice. What are your thoughts on work-life balance? How are you justifying the work that you're putting in and what you are achieving for yourself with your personal goals? Is there a line, or is work-life? What are your thoughts?
For every future founder listening, there's no work-life balance. It's just work, right? Even if you have a family, it's a huge sacrifice. It's a huge sacrifice, and I'm always looking. I'm very fortunate that my wife is allowing me to do that. She's been like that for the whole journey we've been together. But my co-founder, his wife, she basically has to raise 3 kids on her own. Maybe on the weekend, my co-founder is helping with the weekend. But you're 200% dedicated to the company. I said 150 before, but I was wrong. It's 200 at least. No vacations, no time off, no sick days. There's no, dropping the pen at 5. You're working 14 to 16 hours a day. You work and you eat and you sleep. That's it. So don't do it unless you're very, very complete with your idea, and that's what you want to do. Which definitely, I'm very happy with my decision today, with all the challenges it brings.
Fantastic. Thank you for your honesty there. I think there's a lot of people listening that'll take that to heart. And then, if you don't mind, tell us a little bit about your inspiration. What keeps you going? What's your motivation at the end of the day?
Being fully honest, one is ego. You started that and you can't fail.
I see.
Just from an ego perspective, that's it's not the first motivator. It's probably the second one. The first one is that we built something, a technology that we weren't sure that's going to work, and after a hard year of working on that, it's working, and it's an amazing accomplishment. And I see what it does to our customers, and that keeps me going, because I'm saying I know we build an amazing product that helps security teams feel protected, save time. I want to do more of that, and that keeps me going. I love working with people. I love working with customers. I always say that, in between, I was speaking about being a veterinarian and then me a musician, but, the second thing would probably be a bartender, and then just speaking with people like all day. I just love being, speaking with our customers. So that really keeps me going.
Nice. I like that. Bartending wouldn't be too bad depending on the bar that you're in. I have two last questions for you. The first one is, what was the name of your rock band? Or was it a metal band?
The name of the rock band was Esh. It was ESH, which is fire in Hebrew.
Esh. Nice. I like that. And the last one then for you today, Yoad, is there anything you'd like to tell our viewers and our listeners before I let you go? Anything I might have missed that you think would be important for them? Maybe where they can find you on LinkedIn or anything like that?
Yeah, first of all, if there are any future or thinking about growing a founders, people listening, feel free to reach out. I think what helped me the most is that at least in the Israeli ecosystem, but I can imagine it's worldwide, people really help each other. A lot of other founders helped me. It saved me a lot of time, frustration, and money speaking with people and learning from their success and foremost from their mistakes. So I'm happy to share my mistakes. I'm happy to help with guiding people. I'll find time, even in my 200% capacity. I'll find time to help. That's the second part that keeps me going. I really love helping other people. So, and don't be afraid to make the leap. If that's what you want to do, just go ahead and do that. Life is too short.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Yoad, I just want to say we wish you all the best. We will be keeping our eye on you. And best of luck for the future. Thanks for taking your time today.
No, the opposite way. I appreciate your time.